Yo, check it. This that southern shopping school vibes. DC to H-Town, we got the wave. 2DopeMarks live.
With the 2DopeMarks, bringing the heat every night. Shopping screw flow, putting Raspman in the spotlight. From DC to Houston, we ride or die tight. Two voices, one passion.
All right. Welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the 2DopeMarks Arena for 2DopeMarks, your home to Go Girl Wrestling. And we have a special guest who don't even really need an introduction because you see this man work on TV, on the mic, on your YouTubes, on your social medias. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try, right? It's the show stealer of TNA, Mr. Reality of Wrestling, man with the best choke slam in the business, the one, the only, the best heel in the game, AJ Francis.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, man. Great introduction. You happen to leave out the best big man in the business, right? But it's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay.
There's always
you know
one thing I miss. There's always one thing I miss.
It's okay. It's all right. You got a lot, though. You got a lot. You know what I'm saying? You did the right thing before that, though. So it's okay. I let it slide.
Look, we appreciate you coming on. For those who are not initiated, I'm Brando. That is D to my right. The reason why we was like, yo, we gotta talk to Mr. Francis because this is the only brother I know that'll bring a Boys in the Hood reference to TNA. This is the only brother I know that says he is the show stealer in TNA, and it's absolute facts. It's the only brother I know who say, yo, I'm moving to Texas, moving to Houston, getting a crib, and I'm kicking it with Bun B and Booker T, and it's absolute facts. So therefore, given the fact that Bun B is having the 30th anniversary concert for Riding Dirty August 1st, our first question to you is, are you going to be in the building, and what is your favorite track off Riding Dirty?
I would probably say I'm hoping to be there, because me and Bun have a very cool relationship. It kind of came together randomly. And then, like, obviously I had him on TNA a couple times. And then, I've done a lot of work with Trill Burgers over the past years, and I've done podcasts with Bun and probably Dripping Wood though. Is probably my favorite.
Diamonds and Wood.
That's probably my favorite. Mainly because I've rapped to it like 3 different times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, so funny thing is Diamonds and Wood is like, first of all, that beat is crazy. But also the funny thing is that so I go to Bun, right? And how we come together and be friends is right when he first opened Trill Burgers. I was still in WWE, and I was like, yo, I want to come and shoot a music video at Trill Burgers. And Bun was like, he was like, nah, everybody wants to shoot a music video at Trill Burgers. I've had to tell a bunch of people no already. I'm not trying to want to do that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know what? Respect, Bun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your spot. You're a legend. So it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna push on it. But I had already sent him the verse that I have recorded on Diamonds in the Wood. And he was like, all right. So I guess he listened to it like 2-3 days later and was like, yo, this is hard. He's like, we gotta shoot this at Trill Burgers. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. So then we ended up shooting the music video. And then when I had the music, it's one of those things, is like, one thing about me is that, like, I got a lot of motion, and people don't realize how much motion I got until it's right in their face. So I asked Bun to let me shoot this music video. He was like, cool. And then I showed up with Booker T. I showed up with MVP, and I showed up with Earl Mitchell, who was my former teammate who also played on the Houston Texans. So I didn't like come there like, yo, Bun, I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? I came there like, yo, Bun, I bring a lot to the table, baby, you know what I'm saying? And then from then, when I left WWE and went to TNA, Bun, helped me with the whole Joe Hendry situation. So, there was just a lot. Me and Bun go way back, man. 30 years in the game, man. Um, and I mean UGK even more than that. So it's like,
Hmm.
it's cool because Bun's real, man. Bun's always been real, and like even like he was on my last album, Dear Summer, and he's on a song called Round the Way, and
Mm.
he like I was like, yo, Bun, I'd love for you to be on this album. He was like, no problem. Send me the verse, everything was good, and that's how it is. So like, I got a Bun B feature, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's dope.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think for me as somebody from the South and from Texas, this is literally a perfect connection because D's from Maryland, as you know, I'm from Texas, I'm from Houston. Does it feel weird sometimes when you realize you're a legend in two games like Pee Wee Kirkland? Like you have rap, you have wrestling, and you've married both of them together to a point where you have actual bona fide legends in both. Like tout you as somebody who got it.
I think I'm more of a legend in three games because we didn't even talk about football. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
Man,
like,
listen.
see, I left that one
See,
yeah,
alone because he gonna go.
so
Look,
that's
y'all
you
gonna
my
have a
know,
whole
wheelhouse.
interview. Y'all talking
you know what I'm
football.
saying. I often I say it all the time, man, and like, some people think it comes off as cocky. I think it comes off as factual. But I'm a one of one human to ever exist on Earth.
Yes.
Um, Nobody else. I played 6 years in the NFL. I wrestled for WWE and TNA. I've main evented for pay-per-views. I've fought for world titles. I've wrestled in Madison Square Garden. How many people have performed in Madison Square Garden and at Jerry World in Dallas? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like for two different venues. And then I've been on
Mm,
tour, you know what I'm saying? For my music, I have songs with Bun B and DJ Who Kid and 3 Black and Rico Nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not as they say in Russia. I ain't no punk bitch. You know, so I've done a lot of really crazy things, and it's crazy because like a lot of it is just blessings, man. Like a lot of it obviously you gotta put the work in.
Right.
And I've put the work in every facet, but I've really just been blessed with the ability to do a whole lot, and I don't take for granted how unusual my life is. I always tell people how lucky I am because one thing could have went wrong multiple times and ruined everything, right?
Right.
And I just feel like I got a lot of favor, so I'll be trying to show love.
mm,
Yeah, that's cool, man. So I see like your social media presence is crazy. We'll see
Hmm.
you rapping one day. We'll see you, doing your wrestling thing, videos, this, that, and the other. But going back to the football thing, we see a lot of football players that transition into wrestling. But
Hmm.
the
None
reason
better
why I
than me,
mentioned
but
this,
keep going.
right, right. So that's what I was alluding to. So I see a
yeah,
lot of
because
fans like,
he faced somebody with a very noticeable lisp the
Hmm.
other night,
Move,
and
move, yeah.
move.
had
Yeah.
to kind of lay down the law.
Had to
Like, look,
had to put pause on that boy.
Hey, yo, that tackle
go
on
ahead.
time
Yeah, I
was
didn't mean to
crazy.
interrupt.
But like when fans sit there and talk shit, they be like, "Oh yeah, AJ, your career, this, that, and the other, and then this, that, and the other." Like, explain how hard it is, or how easy it is, for that matter, to transition from football and be where you are right now in wrestling.
I mean, the thing is, it's very hard to transition strictly because less than 1% of 1% of 1% of people get to the NFL in the first place.
Mhm.
So to transition out of that into wrestling is an even smaller percentage. Um, so like the thing that really is crazy to me um about wrestling that took me a while to figure out is that like during practice, like in football, defense don't fuck with the offense, and offense don't fuck with the
Mhm.
defense. It's just like we gonna beat y'all ass. And during training camp, we don't fuck with y'all, but on game day, we're all in this together, right? But
Yeah.
in wrestling, there's a lot of like we're never all in this together. Like I'm out this I hear from myself all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's how people carry
Mhm.
themselves. So I always kind of one of the things I really like about TNA is it's more of a team environment. Everybody wants everybody to eat. Now, don't let me be clear. I call myself the TNA show stealer, and I steal a show all the time, and that may ruffle some feathers. I don't give a fuck, right? Um, I call myself Mr. Slammiversary. I ain't asked to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just did it because I speak facts, right? So, like, one of the biggest transitions is like recognizing that for example, you got to put a lot of ego to the side to go from football to wrestling because
Mhm.
like I consistently lose matches to people that I would beat to death with my bare hands, right? Right. So like
That's real.
that's a part of the business is like I know I've lost matches to people that if they saw me on the football field, it might be their last day above ground. Right. So like being able to disassociate yourself from that, right? And be like, okay, this is an act, we're all in this, like it doesn't matter, da, da, da. And like I lose a lot, right?
Mhm.
And that's just your role as a bad guy. Um, so like being able to disassociate from that. And, after a while, that does get annoying, but you have to recognize, like, okay, yeah, I lost to Joe Hendry, but then he went for the world title. I lost to Mike Santana, then he went for the world title. I lost to Nick Nemeth, then he went for the world title. I lost to PCO, we stole the show. I lost to Elijah, we stole the show. I lost to Casey Navarro on Impact, and then we had another banger. I lost to Rich Swann. You know what I'm saying? I've lost these matches, but I won in the grander scheme of being a professional wrestler. As
Mhm.
opposed to in football, if I lose that many one-on-ones, I ain't gonna have no job. Right.
Nah.
So
That's facts.
you gotta there's a little bit of a difference. I think me and Moose, and this is not me trying to hype up TNA or big up Moose, because I can give two shits about Moose. It's I think me and Moose are by far the two best football players to ever transition into wrestling. And I don't think it's close. I think there's a lot of other people that have wrestled in the past that
Mhm.
played football. And there's a lot of people lying about their NFL experience for the greater world. You know, just, a couple days at rookie minicamp don't make you an NFLer. You know what I'm saying?
No, it don't. No, it don't.
If
Not
you
at all.
ask anybody who plays in the NFL, until you get in a regular season game, you didn't play in the NFL, right?
Mhm.
So you ask Moose, you ask it's me, you ask some real NFL guys, you ask Trent Williams, you ask Cameron Wake, you ask Russell
Mhm.
Wilson, you ask Tom Brady, they'll tell you the same thing. So um like there's a lot of guys perpetrating around as former NFL players, you know what I'm saying? Faking the
Right.
funk. And you ain't got to lie to kick it. You know what I'm saying? They be lying to kick it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's facts.
But I think me and Moose are by far the best two to ever do it. So I'm really hoping for the day that me and Moose can work an actual full program
Mhm.
on television, because me and Moose have only ever had two matches on TV. We've had technically we've had two matches on the Indies where we fought each other as well, but nobody saw those. So we've had two matches on TV, and both are absolute bangers. And neither one is more than like 10 minutes, right? Like we've never even had a chance to really go out there and put on a show like I've done with Nick Nemeth and Casey Navarro and
Mhm.
Rich Swann and Elijah and you know what I'm saying, and PCO and Mike Santana. Like I haven't had that chance yet with Moose, and I think that's a generational feud that needs to happen, because Moose couldn't block me if when we were in the NFL, and he can't stop me now. So
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. Speaking of that, like both you guys being athletes, and kudos to that spear when he jumped off the top rope the other day. That
mhm.
was chef's kiss. Um,
It's all he could get.
you, nobody pays attention to when you say you're the best big man in the game, they don't pay attention to the athleticism. Nobody sees somebody your size doing moonsaults off the second rope. You know what I mean? Let's go back to the history. When we watched Vader do a moonsault, it was you know what I mean? Like,
and let's be fair. The only other big brother I seen do one off the second rope is Keith Lee, and I started doing it off the second rope because of Keith Lee. Like I saw Keith Lee do it, and when I've actually, this is going to sound crazy, okay? I've done a moonsault off a ladder at Slammiversary. I've never done a moonsault off the top rope. Every moonsault I've ever done in practice or in my career in a match has been off the second rope. And it's because when I saw Keith Lee do it, I was like, oh man, that's cool. I want to be able to do that when I start wrestling. So I taught myself how to do it like literally like my second day in wrestling school, because as we've mentioned, I'm a genetic freak of an athlete. And I was like, oh, okay, I did it. And then one of the wrestlers pulled me aside. His name's Jay Rios. He's one of the trainers. And he goes, you just did a moonsault off the second rope. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm working my way up to the top rope. He's like, a moonsault from the top rope is easier than a moonsault from the second rope. I was like, what? Because I'm, dumb wrestling fan brain. I'm not a wrestler.
Right.
I'm at this point, I've been training 2 days, right? So I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, when you're on a second, you have less time to rotate and you get less spring. He's like, so if you can do it off the second, you don't even have to try off the third. You can easily do it off the third. I was like, oh, okay. So then I just spent the next, few years mastering it, and now it's a work of art. It's the best moonsault in the business, not only because it's from the second, but it looks the prettiest. I'm the biggest. It's just the world's largest moonsault. Nobody's touching it, man. And it's like, the thing is, it's not even just things like that people don't appreciate about me as an athlete. Every single match, I do a front flip from inside the ring to outside the ring on my feet when I hit Tennessee Whiskey. And almost every single match, I do a backflip out of the ring and land on my feet when I get clothesline out the ring. So it's like, I do so many different athletic feats that no one else can do, especially not my size. But the thing is like, I go out of my way to intentionally wrestle like a big man, where I don't do too much extra shit. So when I break it out, you're like, oh my God, yo, this dude is a freak.
Right.
Like I remember I had a tables match last year at Victory Road with Matt Hardy. And Matt does, he does the side effect where he hooks you like a rock bottom, but then he jumps and he lands on his back and you land on your back. So we had this spot set up where I'm standing on the second and he hooks me for the side effect, and we do a side effect from the second rope. And when he does it, he lands on his back. But when I jumped back, he ended up just turning into a rock bottom. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought he did that on purpose, right? And he was like, after the match, I was like, oh, it was cool. You did the rock bottom thing. Da, da, da. That was a nice little switch up. He was like, I wasn't trying to do that. He said, I felt that real NFL power. When you jumped off the ropes, he said, I couldn't swing my legs forward because I had so much momentum you brought with me going the other way. So I just had to go down on my stomach. He said, that NFL power is different. I was like, it is different. People don't realize, like, bro, when I was in the NFL, I was squatting 800 pounds. Shit. Like, benching 450.
My knees just hurt you saying that. God damn.
Right? Benching 450, like running a 4.9 40, like I'm running a 4.5 shuttle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a freak athlete. And but the thing is like, they don't look at big guys like that because they expect bare minimum from big guys. And they think just because you're quick with the things you do, that makes you real athletic, when in actuality, you're just a bad storyteller.
That's fair.
That is very fair. Now, I will say this: as somebody who actually gets the concept of pro wrestling, is that is not wins and losses. It is more like getting people to a different position. In TNA, you are basically, look, if you can be in a program with me and we can elevate both of us, then guess what? You got next, right? In reality wrestling, on the other hand, you are the mountain. Everybody's
Yeah.
climbing to find you, right? What have you learned from Booker T and his tutelage down here in Houston? And what have you learned to take back to your work in TNA?
The thing that I most learned from Booker T is the self belief and confidence that I already had in myself, but it's been reassured. And what I mean by that is Booker doesn't even know that I know that he said this because I wasn't in the room when he said it. After the shows, all the young guys go to the back room and Booker like talks about the show and he like
Mhm.
highlights the good things in the show. Me, I'm at my table already selling merch, so I wasn't in the room when he said this, but multiple people came up to me and were like, "Yo, Booker T said you're the best storyteller in professional wrestling." Right? So like that is a battery in my back to hear that from Booker T because you got
Right.
to realize when John Cena was talking about what got him to be who he was, he talked about learning storytelling from Booker T, right?
Hmm.
So, like, to have that same person be like, yeah, AJ's the best storyteller in wrestling. And it's also like when we put matches together at reality wrestling, I'll be like, yo, Book, I have this in mind. And he'll be like, all right, sounds good. But for other people, it'll be like, I was thinking this, and Book's like, nah, this is what I want to do. You need to do this, and this,
Right.
right? So, like, at first, I just thought Book was real hands off with everybody, and just let the people who could shine because that's just always how he's been with me, right? Because he's always believed in me and always trusted me and always had faith in me. It wasn't until I worked a match with who was it that I worked that match with? I'm trying to remember. It might have been somebody coming from NXT. I'm trying to remember who it was. Either way, it was somebody, because I don't want to say the wrong person, but I worked a match with somebody at Reality Wrestling, and they were like, yo, like Book was just cool with everything you said. I was like, yeah, that's how he always is. He's like, that is not how he always is. I was like, what? So now I'm trying to remember who it was. He's like, that is not how he always is. It might have been Big Luther, actually. Now that I'm
Mm.
Okay.
Oh.
sorry, my alarm went off.
Oh, all good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got
yeah.
you. We
You
got
on
you.
it, bro?
I can't hear y'all though. Hold on. Let
Oh,
me come back.
You just gonna stare at me,
well,
and I'm gonna stare at you.
I'm not gonna do that. That is not how we're gonna be. Because again, we still got to get into you being at Yankee Stadium for Jay Z for Blueprint. We got to get
That's
into that.
fine. I got you.
So when that happens, that happens. Up,
I'm
I
back.
got it. We're back.
I'm back. I'm
We're
back.
back.
So like I was saying, I think it might have been Big Luther actually, but he was like, yeah, that's not how Book is. Book is very meticulous in the details that he wants in a match. He just lets you do that. So I was like, oh. So like also, the thing that Book, and this is why reality wrestling is so great, is
Hmm.
because independent show wrestling and TV wrestling are not the same. And I don't just mean like the
Mm-mm.
way people wrestle. I mean the way that you produce a television product is different than the way you just wrestle a match.
Right.
Understanding where your cameras are, understanding where they're going to be whenever you're doing specific spots, understanding how to work the camera on your entrance. Um, Understanding when to work hard cam and when to work your floor cams, understanding when your floor cam's going to be and where, understanding how to interact differently because based on what camera's on you, right? So like
Hmm.
these are all things that I mean, reality wrestling helps out so much because every single show is televised. Every single show is broadcasted live. So it's like you got to be on your P's and Q's, right? And
Hmm.
so like it's really good reps for someone like me who I've been on TV. Like I said, I've been in Madison Square Garden. I've done main events everywhere. Like I've had great shows, but like I love coming to reality wrestling because it's another way to sharpen your tool. And at reality wrestling, like you said, I am the man, right? Two-time glory champion. I'm sorry. two-time glory champion, the longest reigning ever glory champion, the first glory champion, the last television champion. So like, the CEO of House Money, there's just I could go on for days, right?
You
So
could.
like
You could.
and it also gives me a chance to play with ideas that I have because people don't know this, but if you go back and watch some of my reality wrestling matches, you
Mhm.
see exact spots on TNA big matches that worked at reality wrestling. Like for example, the spot that I did with uh Eli Knight in the title match where I look like I'm gonna hit him with the title, and then I end up hitting the ref, and then the ref ends up and then I end up getting fucked over, right?
Right.
That same exact spot I used, except it was a female ref, so I didn't hit her, but that same exact spot I used in my X Division title match versus Leon Slater, right?
Huh.
Right. And it's because I did it once and I saw how it worked, and I was like, oh, I got to use this next
I
time
do
I
it
have,
again.
you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then I did it
Right.
again versus Leon Slater, and it all came off great. But it's a great place to get reps.
That's dope. That's
So,
dope. That's dope.
so real quick, because we have a segment at the end of our show called Hater of the Week where we basically talk our shit and
Mhm.
either we give flowers to somebody or we call somebody out that's been on bullshit. So
Yeah.
we, AJ Francis, are gonna give
Mhm.
you the room
Mhm.
for this particular day. Who is your hater of the week? Though I know the week just started, but we gotta ask who's your hater of the week.
My hater of the week gotta be my boy Expressions. Shout out my dog Expressions. That man choked. He said he choked Moose with a $2,000 loafer. You know what I'm saying? He left some studs in the ring on Moose's neck. Shout out my dog. And first of all, Tom Hannafin is also a hater because why he had to point out that Expressions had his sling on the other arm a week before. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's his business. Why are you all in his business? He needed a sling on his left arm the week before, and now he needed it on his right arm, man. Why you hating on my dog Expressions? Shout out Expressions, man. I really want to show Expressions his love because that's my homie. He don't have to do what he doing, coming all the way out here,
Mhm.
and then being a part of this. And he's definitely added a higher profile to what I'm doing. So shout out Expressions. Yeah, Expressions and Tom Hannafin are my haters a week for sure.
That is what's
So
up. That's what's up.
I know you got. I know you ain't got too much time. You got things to do, but so I got to ask this question because it's one thing that people don't know about you, but well, I know about you because I've helped you participate every year. You do this. Will there be a 10th annual? Because this will be the 10th year, correct, for your canned food
Mhm.
drive.
There
Please
will
shed a little bit light on that.
there will in fact be a 10th annual canned food drive. It's going to be October 17th at University of Maryland's homecoming.
Okay.
Um, Usually we do it around Thanksgiving, but this year there's
Mhm.
no home game around Thanksgiving that like made
Okay.
sense. So we decided to move it up to October 17th for homecoming, which A, it's the 10th annual, so it's good to do something new. And B, homecoming's always packed. So it's a good opportunity for us to make a big impact. And it'll help because last year was the biggest year we ever had, and they were able
Right.
to use that food all the way to the new year. So I'm hoping that we're able to do that again, even though we're extending it out basically a month and a half. Um, and it was awesome to be able to do it every year. I go to Sarah's house, which is a assisted living shelter in Fort Meade, um, Maryland, and it's right around where I grew up, like literally a mile away from where I grew up. And like most of the people there are children. They're children in bad situations, or their moms running away from maybe a domestic violence situation, or
Mhm.
sometimes there's families and their house burned down, or they're just down on their luck, and it's people that need help. And I have always like I said, I've always been so thankful and grateful for my life and how it's turned out. So like I always make sure to try to give back, especially to my community. So yeah, October 17th will be the 10th annual AJ Francis Canned Food Drive at the University of Maryland. You can bring all non-perishables and diapers and anything you think they could use at an assisted living shelter and be a part of it. And it's great, man. And I appreciate you guys, man.
Not
Yeah,
a problem. Not a
man.
problem at all.
No doubt. AJ Francis, best big man in the game, or the best choke slam in the game, although a certain New York Nick is going to try to claim that he got the
Oh
best one
shit.
after
I'll
Saturday Night's main
beat Cat
event last night.
ass. Let me make that point clear. If Cat want to try me for the best choke slam in the business, I'll beat Cat old gangly limb having ass. All right, that shit look cool. That shit look cool when you picking on dudes half your size. But I'm way more than you, man. I will beat your gangly ass, Cat. Stop playing with me. Think you got a better choke slam than me? Crazy
Oh
as hell,
shit.
boy.
Oh
Crazy
shit.
as hell.
Oh shit.
AJ Francis, best big man in the game.
Thank
TNA
you,
show
brother.
still a Mr. Slammiversary, the mountain of reality wrestling. The dude who, if you gonna beat somebody in TNA, you got to see him first. Shout out,
Facts.
you can see him every Thursday night. Oh yeah, I'm out of breath.
Or on social
I
media
love it.
fucking with people.
Or social media
Yeah.
at AJ Francis 410, Maryland's
Mhm.
finest. King Turp. Before we get out of here, your Terps gonna do something in the Big Ten this year?
Pray. I hope for Locke's sake that they do, because I
Yeah.
don't know how long.
Yeah,
I don't know how
look,
long.
Locke's been coaching for his life outside of the months of September and October. He's been coaching for his life.
Here's the thing: Locks is an incredible recruiter, and he pulled off Malik Washington staying another year, and he's
Yeah.
he's put some of the best players Maryland's ever seen on the field. But we just got to put it all together, and I think this is going to be a good year. I think Malik growing after last year. I think it'll be a good
Mhm.
year for us. You know, I've been trying to be in the young man's ear, so I'm hoping that hopefully, give him a little tutelage and see how he performs this year.
Okay.
All right. Well, there it
Well,
is. There you have it.
thank you for everything, brother. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for
Appreciate
taking out
y'all,
your time
man.
out your busy schedule, man.
Hold on. Did y'all smell that? That
Uh-oh.
smell like money,
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 money.
money.
I like that. We out.
We
Peace.
We're the 2DopeMarks, bringing the heat every night. Shop and screw.